C, Triad Soccer City. Live it, relive it, replay it. The motto of Triad Soccer City. We're glad to be here with you. It's Memphis United in the white jerseys, and they're trying to stave off an attack from the Sesame Street Get Along Gang. That is a mouthful, all right. Sesame Street Get Along Gang, or short for Sesame Street. They're in the Chelsea blue kits. They have the Chelsea logo on them. And it is the Over-40 Premier Division matchup. Both these teams played this morning. Sesame Street played on one of the fields to our left. They lost that game 6-4, but what a fun game that was. Sesame Street Get Along Gang living up to their name, and they like to be called, this is what a couple of the players told us, a bunch of misfits. So the misfits out there for Sesame Street. While Memphis United now possess the ball. Beer City Cup would not be possible without Explore Asheville and Buncombe County. Asheville, a great city to come visit during the fall season. Flight, a great sponsor for the Beer City Cup. Sponsoring the game ball. Not playing with it right now. Right now we're playing with a Champions League ball, but the sponsor for the game ball this weekend. If you're looking for lunch here in Asheville, Barbecue Bears Smokehouse, the place to go, another sponsor. Here are Memphis United right into the hands. Lost for a second. Now it's stumbling around outside the box. Now getting back to his line is Hideti. Now Sesame Street. And I must say, I'm a little disappointed in the Sesame Street jerseys. I wish that they had, some characters maybe on there. I know that obviously it takes the cost up a little bit, but that would be so much fun. But hey, every team has their own identity. And what a fun name, though. That's the beauty of the Beer City Cup in these tournaments. Cross in there by Grayson for Sesame Street. No harm done, though, for the Memphis United net. Beer City Cup also sponsored by Devil's Foot, an all-natural, low-sugar soda that is 100% certified organic. In the Asheville area, you can order it online as well. It is blowing up on social media. Also, don't forget to follow Beer City Cup on the socials for all the news and updates, as this tournament is really in full gear now. And if you need a little something to take the sting off the day, Sierra Nevada IPA, family owned and operated by Ken Grossman, an independent brewery and one of the most successful in the U.S. is another proud sponsor for the Beer City Cup. As for the referee of this game, we've got our first different referee out of the 3 that we've seen so far. One more game on this field before the lunch break, and then we'll be back for 6 more from this field. Another player coach, Patrick McAdams, is a player coach for Memphis United. Last game we saw was part of the Over-40s men's 2nd division. This is part of the Premier. You can already see that there is a little bit more giddy up in the step. Players that play more on the amateur side and in their backyards and such. Odd collision there in the middle of the park, screaming and shouting, but both players go down. Ref says it's fair. Both teams lost a player. Memphis United now with a nice chop there. At the edge of the 18, inside the 18, crossed and not flicked enough there. And if you're looking for goals, this is the place to be. We only saw 2 goals in the last game, but the first game that Sesame Street Get Along Gang was a part of, there was 10 goals when they lost to the San Diego. There's the first whistle of the day, and it goes in favor of Sesame Street. For people listening in Sesame Street, a odd name you might think, right? But it brings back a lot of memories for so many people, including myself. And that's really their motto for this team, is kind of low-key, and they're just living free. And we saw that in the first game. They got out to a lead, but then they ultimately lost it to San Diego Silverbacks. That shot goes into the woods behind the goal to our right. Great crowds here today, especially for the over-40 second division. Crowds have kind of cleared out now, but there still are fans around. Both teams on the far side. Big striker up front for Sesame Street. Looking to cause havoc, communicating with his teammates. And once again, this is the preliminary round, group stage action. The men's over 40 Premier Division. There are 3 teams in each group, and this is a big game for Sesame Street Get Along Gang. A loss here will eliminate them. Memphis United play once again at 2:30 against San Diego, but only playing 2 games, as it's a group of 3. 12 teams in this Premier over 40. 3 teams in a group. You get 2 games, and right now, Sesame Street has lost their first against San Diego Silverbacks. For them to keep their tournament chances alive, they need a win. They do have 3 points, though, as they scored 4 goals. You can get a point for every goal you score up to 3. So 3 points for Sesame Street does help them. That's the most you can get in a loss. A loss, 0 points. A tie gets 3, and a win gets 6. As for a clean sheet, you would get an extra point for that. So Sesame Street with a little disadvantage, though, like I said, playing earlier this morning. Memphis not playing yet. Oh, a swing and a miss there for Sesame Street. And a bunch of misfits looking to play some defense now, as Memphis United from Memphis, Tennessee, can book their place already in the quarterfinals for tomorrow morning with a win. Would it be first or second? That'll be decided later today, but for right now, Memphis knows that they might have a chance. They just have to get a win. A tie for Sesame Street here would not be the end of the world, as I said. The 3 points, courtesy of the 3 goals in the first game. Getting the maximum 10 points for Sesame Street would be important, though. 3 or more goals scored, a clean sheet, and a win gets you the maximum 10 points you can get each game. Seems like the field to our left has been more notorious for goal scoring early on, as the late summer heat starts to arise. The turf here in Buncombe Sportsplex, the county that has so many fields here. Here's a chance. The bunch of misfits with a chance and knocking on the doorstep, but nobody answered for Memphis. as they kept it out of their net. Crossed in once again. Sesame Street still putting the pressure on in their royal blues. This cross, though, was not to the desire. As we take a look back at that chance right on the doorstep, just can't be put away. Great defensive effort from Memphis United. Able to get his body in the way of that one and keep this game knotted at zeros. Nicolas Soule with a chance there. He did everything right, just couldn't beat the last defender. He beat the goalkeeper. Hold up play now for Sesame Street. Oh, finding a runner in there, shouting for a penalty. Soft contact, though, says referee. We've seen a lot of that already today. A lot of players with the heat and some fatigue already, trying to get something out of nothing almost. Sesame Street dumping it in. Stumbling was the striker. We've seen a lot of players already stumbling. It seems like this turf, that is a newer turf, has not taken a liking to some of the players. We've seen a lot of players early on, especially the older players I've noticed, wear cleats that are for indoor or turf like this, turf shoes, and not with the regular studs you see. In Memphis United, they have a Manchester United patch on their sleeve, obviously with the United in their name. So it's a United versus Chelsea. If you have no connection to either one of those teams, if you like United or Chelsea more, here's a cross into Sesame Street. Big battle there, pushed off the ball. And couldn't play defense was Memphis, so free kick awarded. If you're a United fan or a Chelsea fan, or you hate one of them, then hey, you have someone to root for now. 10 minutes left in this first half. Once again, no goals so far. 2 out of the 3 last halves we've seen on this field have resulted in no goals. Once again, the Beer City Cup. If you're not following them on social media, it is Beer City Cup. That's their username. They have one more stop on the calendar year. It's Nashville in November 8th and 9th. If you want to get a team for it, look up on their website, beercitycup.com, and you can enter a team yourself. Anybody can enter. Prices are fair, and it is a great tournament to be part of, and prizes are big. Triad Soccer City would also like to say, in terms of production, that we live it, relive it, and replay it. Sesame Street now with a big string of possession, trying to find something, though. 7 of the 8 players, not including the goalkeeper as well, behind the ball for Memphis, but it's cleared away. Now Memphis could counter. Nobody up there, though, to initiate the counterattack. Now Sesame Street wins it back quickly. All but one behind the play now for Memphis. A nice defensive shape. 2 banks of 3. 3 and 3 for Memphis United. Sesame Street really dominating early. Maybe changing their approach from the first game where they scored all those goals and conceded late. Oh, nice through ball there for Sesame Street, but off his line quickly is the Memphis United goalkeeper. Ricky Stearns, the goalkeeper for Memphis United. Now Memphis on the attack. Cut out quickly. Stearns with black long sleeve shirt on. Very important as a goalkeeper because you don't want your arms to get cut up on the turf. Turf really will tear up your arms with a rug burn. But here's Sesame Street. Stearns punches that one away to his right. Exciting moment there. First chance we've seen really in this game. Stearns was up to the answer. If you relate it to schoolwork, as most schools just started up, grade school and universities recently, that was probably some simple addition. No calculus needed there for Stearns in net. Sesame Street would love to make him do some calculations in his head. Put the ball in the back of the net. Here's Memphis, though. Memphis looking to play the counterattack. They are now 4v5. So numbers disadvantage, but they've got numbers coming up, and Sesame Street player coming back as well. So now back to traditional. Getting close to 5 minutes left in this first half. Still not at all at 0. Pressured heavily and has to be boomed over to us. Subs going on, and Sesame Street looking to possess. And we shouldn't be too surprised by the game flow that we've seen. Sesame Street, knowing they need a win, have to possess a little more, and they're also tired. And what do you do when you're more fatigued in soccer? Here's Memphis, though, with a chance. This one's pushed up and away by the goalkeeper for Sesame Street. Good save there. That was a chance for Memphis to open their accounts in this Beer City Cup. Slower pace after more fatigue for Sesame Street. Shot now from Sesame Street. Nothing going there, though. That's about all we've seen. We've seen one save out of Stearns. That he had to punch it to his right, but that's about it. It's with Gregory Barana now. Connecting there, trying to get there. And he doesn't get it in time. With a big knee brace on for Barana. He tried there to get it, but unable to do so. Over on that far side, he's saying he got held back. Looked like he might have. There it is. Maybe tweaked his knee there. Already got some compression on there. A weird fall, as you just saw. So keep an eye on him. He looks good. Movement is good for the Memphis United player. But a couple of knee braces and knee injuries for this over 40 Premier Division. That's something you see very often because older ages for the men. they've been playing their whole life. That is the number one area in a soccer player that goes. Now Memphis, maybe with a through ball there, out to the channel on the wing. Memphis shot saved right into the grasps of, once again, the netminder, Daddy. So here is Sesame Street. Get along, gang. Ball in. Oh, over the leg of the defender. Now Sesame Street with a chance, and it just astrays. So while we have a lapse in the action, take it and follow Beer City Cup on social media. Beer City Cup, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. There's another Beer City Cup location, Nashville, in November. Last one of the calendar year, the 5th of 5. This is the 4th of 5. Asheville, the origin of the Beer City Cup. Memphis now trying to connect a couple passes, get something going in their favor. But here's Sesame Street. We haven't seen them on the counter much today, and when we have, it has been dangerous. They've had a couple chances like this. Taking it himself. Now passes it over. Strike across, maybe for a cross. I don't know if he was really looking for a shot there. And it goes harmlessly all the way back to Daddy. I'd like to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this Beer City Cup, Asheville. Sierra Nevada, if you're looking for an IPA that is not your average IPA, Sierra Nevada is the one. Sesame Street will keep possession for the moment. Memphis United now wins it. That was a big challenge there from Stearns and the striker. And a yellow card shown to Memphis United for an arm swing extracurricular activities going on. They're going to sub off the card now, our Memphis United, which gives us a moment to say if you want exquisite sportswear and jerseys, Flight Sports is what you should look at now. There's some talking between both of the players that were just going at it. He already got a yellow card. He's off the field now as a sub. He was still talking to the other player. Interesting to see how that'll turn out. That was number 8 on Sesame Street, Michael Richardson. So 2 puffs of the whistle takes us to the halftime break. Once again, third half out of 4 that we've seen no goals scored on this field. But stay with us. Last game, we saw 2 goals quick into the second half. Sesame Street is tied 0-0 with Memphis United. Welcome back for second half action here at Buncombe Sportsplex, Field 1B, Beer City Cup. It's men's over 40 premier action. It's Memphis United versus Sesame Street Get Along Gang.
Oh, it's called left?
It's Group B.
It's called left? Ahí va, ya lo vi. Ahí va, it's called.
Will we get action here in the second half? I hope so. 0-0 is where we sit right now. Sesame Street Get Along Gang. The bunch of misfits like they like to be called. They've got 3 points. They lost their first game 6-4. Once again, 6 points for a win, 3 for a tie, 0 for a loss. You get up to 3 points for each goal scored. And 1 point for a shutout. Both teams right now holding 4 points each. Thank you for listening to Beer City Cup YouTube. Here's Sesame Street. Numbers advantage. 4-on-3. Can they find the open player? One Sesame Street player hits the ground. There's another challenge. Ref says no, shaking his head. That was the first shout I think I've seen all day for a penalty that could have been given in my mind. And I've seen a lot of easy tackles that have ended up on players on the ground. Sesame Street clears it away. An exciting day. One more game on Field 1B before the lunch break here on Beer City Cup YouTube. TSC producing it. Triad Soccer City. We at Triad Soccer City love to live it, relive it, and replay it. That's the motto for Triad Soccer City. Beer City Cup. Nice head back there from Memphis United. Just able to flick it back to their netminder of Stearns. If you have a passion and you like to follow it, Sierra Nevada is the IPA for you. That is their motto, the family-owned business. As now Sesame Street, who needs to win or draw to stay alive in this Beer City Cup Asheville for a chance at the cash prize. Save there by Stearns. Ball stays in bounds. That flight sponsored ball flying beautifully through the air. A proud sponsor of Beer City Cup is Flight. The socials on Beer City Cup will love your views and follows as well. Thank you once again for all that. Here's a free kick for Memphis United. Coming up limping is the United player. "25-minute halves. We've seen 30 minutes of action already. 20 minutes to go. Will we see a breakthrough? Memphis United now. 2 players lining up over top. Hits the wall and spinning. Cleared away by Sesame Street. Now it's a one-on-one, two-on-two potentially for Sesame Street. Can they find the player back post? Oh, it was there. Now top of the box. Shot blocked once again by Memphis United. You can't see it as I can, but Sesame Street players, they have got some heavy sweating going on. It's almost a dark blue now compared to that royal blue. That's that heat. It's not too bad, but the turf, once again, makes it probably about 10 degrees hotter here in Asheville. Richardson there, muscled off the ball by Memphis. Daddy has to be off his line, and he just gets there in time. Thought he may have tried to bite off more than he could chew there, but he just had the right amount of space in between him and the striker to come out and collect that. Foul there on Sesame Street, so Memphis United gets a free kick. I know there might not be much action right now. If you want to find some action, explore Asheville in Buncombe County as the place to go. Asheville, many attractions. Go to their website, find out what you can do and how they've recovered from Hurricane Helene back last September. A great city and lots of things to do. One of the places in Asheville, Barbecue Bears Smokehouse. Asheville known for their bears. 3 bears seen this morning by myself. So I know that they definitely have a lot of bears around here. And Barbecue Bears, only being around since 2020, already an established business. People talking about it in Asheville. A proud sponsor of Beer City Cup. 15th year of Beer City Cup. The origin here in Asheville, North Carolina. And it's expanded so beautifully into a rose. Both teams right now not looking complacent, but definitely liking where they're at the moment. But a breakthrough can happen at any moment. Here, Sesame Street strike goes onto the field to our left. And that's the moments where you think that you are in a good position, but then you don't follow a man and you get left out to dry and you give up potentially game-winning goal. Those are the moments that define these games. Lapses in concentration. Here might be one from Sesame Street. Memphis unable to capitalize as of right now, though. Players open across the post and just misses it. That's the closest we've come, near inches from breaking open this game. And there it is again. Very close. Now Sesame Street, after that near miss from Memphis, they'll get a free kick in a very dangerous area. And the Beer City Cup, a proud representative of many different states adults tournaments in the United States. Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Mississippi. A wide variety here in Asheville, North Carolina, for this beautiful Labor Day weekend. Now Sesame Street, get along gang. Trying to get along and communicate who's going to take this free kick. It looks like some sort of fancy thing. It's supposed to be an 8-yard wall. That might be his second yellow. If I'm not mistaken, it will be. So this is a big moment here in this game. It's a red card for Memphis United. He'll miss his second game of the group stage, but more importantly, there is something in this game now. It's a man down for Memphis. And it's probably one of the silliest ways to get a second yellow card. He jumps in front. He jumps in front of the wall and gets a second yellow. So now Sesame Street will get another chance at this free kick. But more importantly, they're going to be a player up. Sesame Street needing a win or a draw. Here's the chip and the flick. Sesame Street now, goalkeeper out of his net, now in the net once more. What will the adjustment be for Memphis now that they're down a player? They're looking to connect out. Sesame Street pressuring hard, but Memphis is able to gather control. Anybody looking for action now, here is your time to shine. With half of the second period gone, about 12 to 13 minutes left. And Sesame Street will now be chomping at the bit to grab that first goal. No foul call there. Memphis, though, still with such a quick and fast-paced game. Sesame Street already playing a game today as well. They could strike on the counterattack. Here is Sesame Street, open back post. Now top of the box. Oh, hit the dirt with it and took all the power off of it. Now Memphis can counter. They've only got one player up, though. They can't leave too many players up. They have to play defense. And with that red card, Sesame Street long-range effort off the head of one of the Memphis players in the mix there. Three of them in that surrounding area. A lot of pop-up tents here today as the sun beats heavy here in the mid-afternoon sun. There it is for Sesame Street in the box. Ball hasn't moved in a while, but lots of feet shuffling around there. Memphis does come away with it, trying to clear those Sesame Street, those stopping that attack. Maybe a challenge there that could have been whistled. That was inside the box, I think. Sesame Street still attacking. finding a player inside, trying to connect, but into the safe hands of Stearns, but not for long, as now Memphis is on the counter. Only one player up there right now. He's got to hold it up, play it backwards for Memphis United. Sesame Street and Richardson on a tough challenge, staying with it, almost glued to his foot there for Richardson. Players back post for Sesame Street, but he chose to take the shot himself. Out for a corner for Sesame Street. I would say that this game has definitely opened up now after that red card about 3 minutes ago for both teams. A little miscommunication there from Sesame Street on the sub. Memphis has got a chance now as Sesame Street still organizing. Shot over the bar. That ball was always rising for Memphis. Beer City Cup here in Asheville. It's Memphis United in the white tops, black shorts, versus Sesame Street Get Along Gang in the all blue. 0-0. Beer City Cup would like to thank its proud sponsors, Sierra Nevada IPA, one of the most successful independent breweries in the country. Devil's Foot All Natural Low Sugar Soda, a local Asheville favorite. Flight Sports providing the game ball for this weekend's tournament right now, using the Champions League ball. Explore Asheville, the beautiful city of Asheville, which I've talked about numerous times. And Barbecue Bears Smokehouse. Good meal after a long day of hard work, especially for these players. Daddy was outside of his box and trying to create an attack for Sesame Street, did for a moment, but as it goes out for a goal kick. Still looking for our first goal. This might be the opportunity. Just a big touch from Sesame Street's forward there. Anthony Peters was a player. Richardson now. Big strike at it. He wound up too much there and didn't take enough off of it. And he slammed it to the rafters. Remember, this is an over-40s premier division. These guys have got some wisdom and some age on them. And Sesame Street already playing their second game this morning. So you can see it. They're definitely a tired bunch of misfits. That's what they like to be called, the Sesame Street Get Along Gang. As for Memphis United, this is their first game. Big collision. Ends up on the floor for Memphis, and it'll be a free kick. Reminder, Memphis is down a player. Red card 5 minutes into this second half. We're now 5 minutes to go in this game. And so here's Memphis now. Set play is very important when you're down a player. That one does not go the way that Memphis would like. Here's maybe a chance for Sesame Street to counter. Equal numbers for Sesame Street. Back post is Richardson. He hits it over again. He's had numerous chances, but he has not found the frame, any of them. Richardson, you must think, is going to get on the score sheet at some point, but he just cannot find that white netting in between the silver posts. Here comes Sesame Street again. Another wave of attacks that Memphis has to defend. Sesame Street, long-range effort blocked by one of the Memphis bodies in the frame. And here it is! Goalismo for Sesame Street. Get along, gang. And the Misfits have found the breakthrough. And miraculously, with 3.5 minutes to go, we finally have life. Off a block shot, finds the bottom right corner, does Sesame Street. Matt Mulvina might be the hero for Sesame Street and keep their tournament and chances for the cash prize alive. Now Sesame Street, a 3-on-2. Richardson trying to get another point to their totals if they can grab another goal. Choose to go backwards right now. There's your goal scorer, the hero right now. He looks like he needs a sub. Hands on knees for Mulvina. What a play. Now by Peters. Peters now just keeping it in the corner, maybe trying to kill some of this clock off. He does not get a corner kick. Looked like it might have been a last off Memphis, but it bounced off his shin pad. And Mulvina will take a rest on the bench potentially for the rest of this game. As we're closing on the final minute of regulation. No stoppage time really here, as not much time gets stopped off the clock. Borena was chasing it down, gets a throw in for Memphis. Here's Peters trying to hold up. Now across the field, maybe to Richardson. Oh, but he gets tripped up. Does Sesame Street. Peters holding up the ball now. Strike. Very similar to that kind of layoff that we saw the goal come from. There's Peters, good combination. Peters tried to get out of the way of that one. Now Memphis will connect. No options as of right now. Off his line quickly was a daddy. Over the 25 minutes for the second half. Any time now for the referee. Sesame Street looking to hold on. Memphis United, who are down a player. If not for that red card for encroachment on a free kick, of all things. Big cross in Memphis, late chance. And he just fluffed his lines on the header. What a chance. And there are the three puffs from the referee that end this game. Sesame Street, just like the TV show, finds a new home. The show on Netflix, the team in Asheville, they keep their chances alive here at the Beer City Cup. They win the game 1-0 over Memphis United. We'll have more next on Beer City Cup YouTube and TSC.